1994. From the murky banks of terrestrial radio, a new hope begins to rise.
Opie and Anthony are radio shock jocks known for setting up outrageous stunts. People sure are listening.
Two Long Island natives who together would one day change the world as broadcasting's greatest duo. After 20 years, these children of the 80s have arrived.
Their hugely popular radio show is not just in New York anymore.
Opie and Anthony show. The hottest show there is.
Through 55-gallon drums and wiffle ball bats.
You push it in until you're comfortable.
From mayors to mayor.
It was an April Fool's hoax by two radio disc jockeys.
With bottle rockets and bra bombings. And wieners and pigs.
Opie and Anthony got their hands on the photo and tweeted it.
Two men that have taken a box of cocks further than any.
Well, these people will definitely stop. Guaranteed. Lift up the
They've met friends along the way. Jim Norton.
I have a raging heart-on right now. Can I please put my dick in your donuts?
And through fines, scandals, suspensions, cancellations, and terminations, it's the one show that remains unscathed. Striking fear into the hearts of management everywhere comes a radio show that after 20 years remains above all else real. This is the Opie and Anthony Show.
But enough of this palaver. Let's get the show on the road.
Good morning.
Go. Now, because the show
time. What?
Because the show remains real doesn't mean we're keeping it real.
No, you don't want to keep it real.
No, I don't even know what that means.
We're just real. Real what?
Look, we're real.
Real assholes.
That could be it.
Who knows? Real sick of this winter, huh?
That's a good one. They called it up for you.
We got some weird wind today.
Yeah.
Every day it's something different in the New York area.
It's fucking freezing. Very windy, yeah.
Single digits with the wind chill.
Oh, they love that real feel temperature, wind chill, whatever you want to call it.
40 to 45 degree winds.
Very cold. Very
mile-an-hour winds,
cold.
I mean.
Is that how fast it is?
40 to 45 miles.
And in the city, it could be zero wind on one street. And then you turn around that corner, you just never know when you go like, ah-de-da-de-da, the wind hits you in the face. It takes your breath right out of you.
Well, in New York, old people go airborne because of that.
Oh, yeah.
So the wind squeezes in between those buildings, comes out the other side a little stronger.
Yeah.
And I told the story over the years. We lose one or two a year around me.
The old people go flying?
They go flying. One year, one went into one of those big, huge flower pots.
Oof.
Broke her arm. Another time,
they are frail.
We watched a guy roll down the road.
Oh, you don't want to be that guy.
Rolling.
You do not want to be the rolling down the fucking city street guy.
I camped out once to try to film people trying to handle the wind, but didn't get anything good. Yeah. These are just stories I've been told by the security guys.
It's just not pleasant.
No, not at all.
You said it's hard to breathe. It literally is out there. It's hard. I kept thinking, this is what it's like to fall out of a plane. Like, it's freezing, and you can't breathe. Like, so maybe you wouldn't make it all the way down.
Maybe. Because that would be a real strong wind and real cold.
Yeah, it's a minus 40.
Boy.
Yeah.
That'd suck. Speaking of
the plane, thought we had a little something yesterday. Turns out that was nothing.
The Chinese?
What is it then?
I don't know. They found some debris in the water, but it's not identifiable. They say it looks like it's pieces that are too big.
Right.
Who knows what that is? But I guess it came from some Chinese satellites. No.
But wouldn't they just tell the world what it is? The Chinese are saying they made a mistake. They didn't want to release that photo.
Chinese are very mysterious people.
Absolutely, they're mysterious.
Don't like playing well with others. They like whenever there's a world crisis, they keep their cards very close to the vest, as they say.
Right? Didn't they send some ships though, or some? They sent something.
They did, huh?
Yeah.
It says satellite images may show missing plane, but hasn't that already been kind of discredited?
No, it's a different one. I think this is a different one.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
6 days just disappeared.
I
don't know.
So where is the plane?
With all of the technology, it's just astounding.
The plane just went away.
I know the Earth is very big. The ocean's a big place, but everything we got, the old projections of where the plane should be, things like that, you'd think they'd find it pretty quickly. Big plane, too. You know. I don't know. What went wrong? Flight 370, what went wrong?
They could roll out as many experts as they want.
Don't mean shit.
None of these guys know anything in the end.
Nope.
They're just guessing like we are.
Yeah. It's all speculation.
I'm floating, I think. They think this is something floating.
No, that's old now, though.
Is that that?
Yeah. The paper has the satellite image, and that's now old. They're basically saying, yeah, that's nothing.
I don't know. Imagine the first time ever they actually find that it's intact somewhere and something just went awry and people are just like, oh, it's been a week. Where the fuck have you been?
Right.
But the problem is the transponder not working. No signal. That's just too weird.
Sent.
Yeah, no signal. I've been sent.
Has there ever been a plane that has completely disappeared like this?
I don't.
Not in recent.
No, not recently.
Right? They always find something eventually.
Anybody thought they found Amelia Earhart's plane not long ago?
Yeah.
They saw photographs like in the ocean or something of what could be like a landing gear.
Yeah. One listed overdue for a week.
Yeah. I'll never buy freckled skin cream again. Because that was what they found. I think she had freckles.
Yes, freckled skin cream. She was very freckly.
Freckly
Amelia.
idiot she was. Probably applying it when she fucking went down. Clumsy broad.
I think she was oldie time lesbian too.
Was she?
Yeah, that was speculation. Ooh. Very into her, flying, not so much into, men.
Well, maybe she was flying to a place that accepted her.
Maybe.
Her sexuality.
Well, gentlemen, Amelia Earhart is single.
She was just flying to some native lawns to get a little action.
Boys.
Right. So, well, they thought they found something yesterday. It turns out, nope.
Yeah.
So now they're just back to trying to figure out where the hell this plane is.
It's something. The satellites focused in there. Fucking other satellites that apparently can detect explosions, and that didn't find anything. I don't know. And then obviously other countries, including the U.S., don't want to give up their assets and say what they do have. That's probably another sensitive issue. It's like, oh, yeah, we got this satellite image of this. You don't want to show that because you don't want other countries going, oh, you can do that?
Right. Well, look what we could do.
Yeah. It's a little, you don't want to let other countries know what you can do.
Sure.
Maybe they'll turn up. Maybe not.
They're dead, but I mean, like...
you think, yeah?
Oh, of course. They're completely dead. But, And it's crashed.
It would be amazing, though.
That'd be a greatest story of the last...
Right.
I can't think of how many years. Last week.
I pulled a Sully. They're just floating, trying to keep the thing on top of the water.
That's what I said. Maybe a water landing, and now it just slowly sink to the bottom.
Oh, boy. Well, they do have rafts and
They
stuff.
don't have food or water for 6 days. No plane is equipped for a 6-day mission.
You're in a little life raft, and the flight attendants are telling you to pay for your little food. Yeah. Still.
Can we swipe your credit card? No, my luggage is in the ocean.
Yeah. Can we swipe your credit card? Hey, Godspeed there. What are you going to do?
And then another huge story yesterday, and then when they realized it wasn't like terrorism or anything, they just...
And it's bad, whatever.
Or it wasn't enough people that died.
Yeah.
They moved away from the story. It's very interesting to see these news cycles.
Yeah.
It turns out it's a natural gas explosion, I guess, up there in East Harlem.
Yep, the old gas pipe.
It's like taking out a tooth in the city.
Yeah.
The whole building is gone. Or 2 buildings, right?
2 buildings right next to each other. Boy, did you hear enough time that there was a church on the bottom of one and a piano store on the bottom of the other? I was watching the coverage yesterday on Channel 2 locally here in New York, and boy, they had nothing, but they just keep juggling and trying to get something out of people. Oh, what could you please ask that person? The anchor's back at the desk. Could you ask that person if they heard a loud kaboom?
They wanted it to be some kind of bomb so badly, right?
They always want it to be a bomb, terrorism, something out of the ordinary, something that isn't just a gas explosion. Mm-hmm. Oh boy, could it be? We're going to have people. Investigators are showing up. It is probably not terrorism. But nothing's been ruled out just yet.
Well, Charlie Rangel there.
Charlie Rangel's an idiot. He's elected 8 billion years up there in Harlem.
He's a really old guy, too, right?
Yeah, he's just some old codger that's, milking the job. And, he said, this is our community, which, Harlem. This is our community's 9/11. This is Harlem's 9/11.
Right.
It's like, wait, it wasn't 9/11 9/11?
Right.
Wasn't that bad enough for the entire city?
How is it
country?
How is it his community's 9/11?
I don't know.
It's a horrible tragedy, obviously.
Yeah.
But I think it's what are they up to, like 6 killed?
6 dead, 9 missing, 60 injured.
Right.
The numbers fall a little short of your 9/11. It's not terrorism. Although 2 buildings blew up, they were not the financial epicenter of the free world. I think he might have overplayed it a little bit.
Didn't people smell gas for years, too, they say?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll come up, too, where I'm sure some of the community activists will say, what's it take for Harlem to get some people up here to investigate the gas?
The gas smell.
The gas smell. If it was a white neighborhood. Yeah.
That's kind of scary, though. You're smelling gas. They said for years.
Years?
For years they smelled gas in those buildings. And then it finally went.
Damn.
And man, those gas explosions, they don't mess around. Wow.
Once you get a nice pocket of that built up and then it gets a little ignition sort. Oh, yeah. Man. It just comes apart.
Those buildings got blown the fuck up, man. Like there's nothing left.
Yeah.
No.
And then I saw some video they were showing on the news yesterday of some gentlemen in the area that had their phones going that were running to the scene saying, we got to help people.
Right.
We got to help people. And I'm like, portrait mode. Fucking portrait mode. It's just it's amazing.
Let's say hi to Brian in Charlotte. He has a little more on the Charles Rangel angle. Or the Charlie Rangel.
Like
Charles or Charlie? I don't know.
Yeah.
What's up, Brian? Hey.
Yeah, what infuriates me is you refer to it as 911. He didn't even refer to it as 9/11.
He says 911?
No, he says 911.
Yeah, that is silly.
Yeah.
He's an old, out-of-touch fool that those dummies up there still vote for.
Who blamed this situation on gentrification. So he's taking a page out of the Spike Lee book.
Wait, he said that?
Oh, yeah, on CNN. They actually had to cut the guy off. He was an independent journalist from Harlem. And he was trying to blame it on gentrification, saying that the landlords who've taken over these buildings don't give a shit about the people who live there, so they're fine if they blow up.
Of course.
Oh, yeah.
Of course.
Thanks, boys.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what gentrification does. You want to blow the building up.
As opposed to pre-gentrification.
Yeah.
Which was a bombed, it looked like a bombed out the city of Beirut. Yeah. Nothing's ever good. No. Nothing. It doesn't matter what is done or isn't done. It's never good.
Let's go to Scott in New York. Scott.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, man.
Rolls-Royce monitors their engines, and Fox News reporting that they were running 4 hours after the transponder went off.
Yeah, then there's another report that's not true. There's like conflicting reports about that.
I heard that this morning too. Yeah. Like they have it transmits information to a server,
right?
And I guess they could get engine data,
right,
from it. And
that's the ring for that time could be all the way to Pakistan, which conspiracy theory I don't know, but crazy.
No, the plane, I don't believe the engines were running 2 hours later.
No.
4 hours.
4 hours, whatever.
4 hours after the transponder went off.
Right. Because somebody would have seen it land somewhere. You don't land just on a field. I mean, look, if Nicholson didn't even know if they saw those two soldiers saw the plane land and a few good men, there's no way you can land a Malaysian airliner. The whole world is looking for. Not one person calls in and goes, yeah, I was on the ground crew. We saw it.
What if they landed it in Pakistan somewhere? And
somebody would talk.
Some kind of... I don't know.
For what?
An old dirt. They carved a runway out of the jungle somewhere.
But then what?
Then you load it up with explosives and you fly it into something big.
But then people would know that plane's in the air, no?
Yeah, they'd know there's a problem. Or
what do you mean? Once they take off again?
Yeah.
No, you get that transponder off, you fly low, you fucking crash right into something.
Like what?
Building.
Where?
United States.
Okay.
You fly across the Atlantic now, you fucking fly right into something big.
Conspiracy people must be having a field day with this one.
They certainly are.
Yeah. Let's say hi to Jeff in Phoenix. Jeff.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Good morning, Jeff.
Yeah, I heard on Fox News, breaking news at 3 o'clock this morning that there was a sensor in the engines on the plane that sent a beacon or some shit to Rolls-Royce, their main facility, and they said that the plane kept flying for another 4 hours, or at least...
I hadn't heard that.
It's now in Pakistan.
Wow.
And what?
Yeah, it's now in Pakistan, according to Steve Busey on Fox News.
Isn't when you're on hold, doesn't the show play?
Yeah, I think so.
Sir?
You guys already said that? I didn't hear that.
That's all right. But
he's all bummed now.
But there's conflicting reports that that's not true. So I don't know. I think
Pakistan.
Yeah.
Leave it to Fox to fuck it up.
Not really. I think it came from the Wall Street Journal or something.
Oh, is that what it was?
I believe, or yeah.
Either way, I'm an idiot. That's what I get for not listening.
Oh boy.
Oh, sir.
Now this guy says the plane doesn't use Rolls-Royce engines.
What?
I heard Rolls-Royce all morning.
Of course, it's a Boeing.
Right. Rolls-Royce engines.
Yeah, Boeing's use Rolls-Royce on their 777.
Do they?
Yeah, that's what I hear. Oh, well.
And then you got a car crash in at the
South by Southwest.
Yeah, in Austin.
What happened?
What, a guy just purposely drove into a crowd? Is that what happened?
Damn.
The incident happened outside the Mohawk, a bar and live music venue on Red River Street in Austin around 12:30 a.m. And it killed 2 people, injured 23. He just plowed into a whole bunch of people?
He was drunk.
Oh, they're saying he was just drunk?
Yeah, he had hit a cab previously, and then he just kept on going, and then when he barreled into all those people, he got out of the car and tried to run away.
How do you jerk off
Cops
do
tased
that?
him.
What a fucking jerk off.
Jesus Christ.
Wow.
I don't know how the fuck do you get into a car when you're that fucked up? It's astounding.
Amazing. Maybe blacked out or something.
Maybe.
They'll use the I was blacked out excuse.
That never works. No one's ever gotten out of jail by being in a blackout.
Yeah.
Never.
Kennedy got off for that Ambien thing.
Really?
And yeah. That's
done.
Yeah, that was a done deal.
Wow.
Acquitted.
No kidding.
Yeah. They said, nope. No problem. We agree with you.
That she mixed up her pills.
You mixed up your little pills.
But she's a Kennedy.
Yeah.
We know what happened. She's a Kennedy.
That's what people are saying, too.
Well, they don't have a good track record, those Kennedys.
They have a good track record of getting off the hook.
Well,
except for that one skickle guy.
They could get the best lawyers, and they got a lot of dough.
Yeah.
I really believe that does help you in a case.
Oh, certainly does.
Wow, they let her go.
Yep.
What was the story? She took an Ambien before she left the house and
thought she was taking some other medication.
Right.
And,
she didn't hurt anybody, right? Or crash her car?
Well, she crashed.
She did.
Yeah, she hit sideswiped some vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
And said she was completely, passed out. Didn't even know. Took that Ambien. But, I took it by accident. by accident. And the prosecution's whole case was, well, it doesn't matter if you took it by accident or not. The second you realized you were kind of intoxicated on anything, you should have stopped driving. And she's like, I don't even remember doing that.
Yeah, but there's got to be some accountability.
Apparently not.
In the end, she was on Ambien.
Not
driving.
for a Kennedy.
Yeah, it's rare that they get off for things.
Yeah, huh?
Jesus.
Wow.
Even Skakel's out of jail on a pending appeal.
Skakel. That's the old golf club guy?
Yeah. He's suing Nancy Grace, too.
Is he really?
Oh, yeah, for a lot of money. And it looks like she's in trouble.
Oh, man.
She's in Dutch.
Apparently, I'm paraphrasing, but I think her show said something about how there was DNA evidence found at the scene.
Oh, and there wasn't?
And there was none.
Oh, boy.
So the judge ruled against their motion to dismiss because they were saying, well, you're not liable. You can't be liable or whatever, or whatever the word is, if he's already convicted of murder. And it's like, that's not true.
Huh. Yeah, you can't throw on a bunch of fake facts.
You get piggy girl.
Yeah.
Wow.
Ooh, courtroom cunt hashtag. Nice.
Yeah, sued piggy.
I think it sucks that you mixed up your medication, but you should be accountable for that, don't you think? No.
Well, it's what if it's one of those what they call honest mistakes? What if she actually did grab a pill, thought it was for her thyroid or something, and popped an Ambien? She's driving, and then all of a sudden you wake up and they tell you what happened.
Well,
and you're like, holy fuck, what?
Let's add to the equation she kills people while she did that. She would still be let off the hook because she'd made a mistake at home?
I guess, yeah.
Wow.
Now, there could be some accountability on the fact that, like, if you take Ambien, perhaps you should keep it in a bottle that doesn't look anything like the other medicine bottles, or
I don't know. If you're on
locked up,
if you're on prescription pills, I think you got to have some responsibility there.
Absolutely. Yeah, you can't say that because
you got to have some kind of awareness. Like, oh boy, I better not mix up these pills.
That Ambient's some crazy ass shit.
It really is.
You could take it and then decide to go driving too. Like, she could say, I didn't know I took it, or maybe she took it and then just because Ambien makes you do crazy shit.
Right.
Yeah.
So
there was a congressman that got off the hook a few years back for the same thing. He was driving, they pulled him over, he was weaving all over the place, acted like he was drunk, and said, no, it was Ambien. I took it, I didn't even know, he was home, took it to go to sleep, went to bed, and then the next thing he knows, he's in jail.
Wow.
Like he got up, got into his car, drove.
That's scary.
Without any knowledge that he was doing any of this. Yeah. And I guess the jury believed him, too, because they let him off the hook.
He's probably telling the truth. I mean, you can do stuff in those, like, Ambien blackouts. People make phone calls they don't remember.
There's that reasonable doubt part of it, because there are documented cases. So if you present the jury with those things and say that it happened to me, a jury's got to look and go, you know what? We got to kind of go with his story on this one.
Right. Let's say hi to Josh in Boston. Josh.
I'm not going to believe anything he says because I bet
know.
he's...
Anyone that's teasing the entire city of Boston. See, Josh in Boston.
You said that all the Kennedys got off except that Skakel guy.
Yeah.
He actually has a new trial coming up, so he's probably going to get off too.
He might, yeah. He's out now, but I guess his new trial is starting. And what got him out? Like, what was the counsel wasn't good enough?
Yeah, it was one of those technicalities.
Hey, my wife takes Ambien, and
hate that family.
I've woken up to her blowing me, not even knowing it. I've woken up to her cleaning the whole house, woke up to a spotless house and went, what the fuck happened?
Turns into the perfect wife.
Exactly. What else does she do? Make cookies and clean the toilet? This is the God pill. Holy shit. Sometimes she'll take an Ambien when the game's on, not say a word. She'll cheer for my team and blow me up. She used my ass during the commercials.
Yeah, why are you complaining? I would be giving her Ambien every single day.
Yeah.
Just push those Ambiens in those donuts.
Yeah, I'd crush them up like sugar. Go ahead, put them on your cornflakes.
Right.
But yeah, it's some crazy shit, so I don't doubt it happened. You know, the shit people do. I've seen it firsthand, so.
It is amazing that it's still available if this is what's happening.
It's legal.
Yeah.
Well, now that everyone has stories about Ambien on the phones. Thank you, sir. Let's go to Chris the teacher, a regular to the O&A show on Long Island. What's up, Chris? Hey.
Good morning. I read Doc Gooden's biography because of I think one of your best interviews ever. I think it's around this time last year.
Was it a year ago already?
It was great.
Wow.
Yeah, great book, man. Thank you for the recommendation.
Cool.
He had the same problem with the Ambien. Now, he has a little bit of a track record, but he blamed Ambien for one of his driving under the influence stops when he had his kids in the car. He ended up on somebody's lawn.
Mm.
And can I ask Professor Anthony a question?
Oh, boy. Yes, sir.
No, it's legit.
It's early.
I believe your theory on pilot suicide. I really do. I think that what's the point of turning off the transponder? Do you think it's for insurance?
Yeah. It could have also been because that was the moment that there was some kind of catastrophic problem.
Right.
That's what they're saying too, like cracks around the antenna that transmits the transponder signal. You know, it could be.
You mean the antenna could have got blown off?
Yeah. Yep.
Seems like the pilot was a happy-go-lucky guy, though.
Yeah, he didn't seem to be a guy that...
He had broads in the cockpit. He had a flight simulator at his apartment. He just loved flying. He looked happy in those videos and those pictures they showed.
Yeah, but Jimmy looks happy, too, but we all know what he goes home to every night. I say that with love.
Maybe it was the co-pilot. Maybe the co-pilot fucking clocked him in the head with something and put that thing in a dive.
Man.
Who knows?
All right, I'm punching out, boys. Be good.
All right. Thanks, buddy. I don't know.
Until they find it, what are you going to do? Speculation.
Let's go to Bill in Florida. Bill.
Hey, guys.
Hello, Bill.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, so I just wanted to throw an Ambien story out there. A few years ago, I took one and went to sleep, and I woke up, and I was in the emergency room with an IV. And I had no recollection of what had happened, and apparently when I finally got the information, I had hit someone in front of me. I rear-ended them, and they drove and rear-ended into the person in front of them, too, and I don't remember a second of it.
Do you remember driving on Ambien?
No.
Nothing.
The last thing I remember, man, is putting my head on the pillow, and that was it. The cop told me that I had brought a book with me, and I told him that I was going to read somewhere. And he also said that I had a few beers, and I told him that. But when they checked me, I had no beer or drugs in my system.
Except the Ambien.
And the last thing you remember is putting your head on the pillow?
Yep.
This is nuts.
Yeah, it was nuts, man. I don't remember a thing. Thankfully, nobody got hurt, and I just had a DUI. It wasn't anything more major, but yeah, it's a true story.
How was the book?
Not worth that.
What happened to the book?
How many chapters did you read while driving?
How important is a bookmark?
All right, guys. Thanks. Have a good one, man.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you too, Bill.
There's this story about the guy who fucking Tyson Beckford's nephew who goes fucked up at that party and stole. He was out and he was being obnoxious and he stole a truck and drove into an MTA bus and killed somebody.
Oh man!
And he was in court, I guess, yesterday, and they've upgraded his charges to. The indictment included murder, felony murder, aggravated vehicular homicide, vehicular manslaughter, and assault. He's facing life. I'm not saying he shouldn't, but he's at a party, having fun, probably in a blackout. Obnoxious asshole walks home. He steals a delivery truck. One of those things that you never do sober. Mm-hmm. And fucking just plows into a bus and kills a guy.
Oh, man.
So that guy's dead. And then you come out of it and go, the rest of my life, I'm fucking done.
Yeah, that's it. Done.
He's 23.
Whew.
That's nuts.
Damn. Isn't it fucking amazing how fast you can fuck everything up? In
Just
like a
like that.
10-minute spot or whatever, your whole life is ruined.
Them wacky little crossroads.
Yeah, right? Like if he had just gotten into a cab, or maybe if he had just not grabbed one ass at that party and gotten thrown out, he would have puked and made who knows? And this guy would be alive.
Yeah.
Jet may have gone 2,200 miles off course is now the latest. And the Malaysians are denying that there were signals coming from the engines. Those are that's the latest right now as we see it.
How would they say may have gone 2,200 miles unless that was just the amount of fuel they had? They might be speculating just because that's how much fuel they had when they took off.
Airborne for hours. Plane in Pakistan, engine data. Jet may have flown 5 hours.
This is all speculation.
They're just putting a question mark, that's all.
Yeah, they put
Plane on moon?
Right.
Yes.
Plane taken by aliens?
We're okay. Question mark.
Plane found with giant Yankee hat?
Yeah.
What? No.
That'd be interesting.
I'm just happy to say that the aliens thing is still on the table.
Still a viable
still on the table.
Scenario. Yeah.
I got a little bummed yesterday when I saw that satellite image. I'm like, oh man, there goes the alien.
Yep.
There goes the aliens theory. Still on the table, boys.
Yeah.
A sinister plot. Missing jet diverted for a different use.
Oh boy.
Wow, Fox is going with that.
No, it's not a sinister plot. It's a sinister plot.
How 229 people or 39 people can just vanish.
But do we know that the
And the one thing what I did
Thick
think
water
we
is where they vanished.
because the Chinese have a lot of resources is the recovery of what was left of the plane, because they showed us some aerial shots and it looked like it could actually be plane wreckage. They got there, it wasn't it. We also heard 2 days ago that the left turn that the plane allegedly made, well, they did make it. Then by the end of the day, they said, I don't know where you think that story came from. We didn't do that. And by the way, here's some of those aerial shots that we were looking at yesterday.
And those were taken on Sunday, and by the time they got there
it
on
doesn't
Wednesday,
look like plane wreckage.
They sank or they simply drifted way off.
A lot of the experts said it didn't look like plane wreckage right away. Right. They said the pieces were too big. So what is he saying? It looked like plane wreckage. It was a very blurry satellite image, and they did some measurements and said these pieces are too big. A lot of the experts said that immediately. But then they were still holding out hope.
Every news channel has a different bunch of talking heads that give different fucking opinions.
MSNBC is blaming Bush.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
it's a weird story.
Imagine if that plane never turns up. Like, you will know it probably disappeared in the ocean, but for that to happen in 2014, a modern 777 to take off,
it's got to be almost impossible. It has to be.
Yeah. That Air France plane off of Brazil, that was gone for a while. But they did find it, but then it took a long time for them to actually get to it. It was in really deep water, and it took a long time to get to it. But for this, without anything.
Well, they kind of knew what happened. They knew something in the storm. It went down. Like, there was no doubt that plane just crashed.
Yep. Yeah. This guy didn't run into any weather or anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No distress signal had been sent.
Didn't they find the bodies and stuff recently, like on an underwater mountain? Like, that's where they found a lot of that stuff, for the Air France flight.
Really? Wow.
Huh. What a shitty way to go. Falling.
You don't want to fall.
No, for a long time.
Let's say hi to Jason in Boston. Jason.
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Pretty good, Jason.
Hi.
Hey, so I'm calling about Ambien. I've been taking Ambien for about 2 years, man, and I'll tell you, this shit is a fucking godsend. I wouldn't sleep for like 2-3 days straight. I'm still really kind of out of it, but I'm like functional for the first time in maybe 10 years. I haven't done any crazy shit, but I do have a habit of like eating random stuff from the fridge. So, like, I'll get up in the morning, my wife will go to make her sandwich for work, and she's like, yeah, there was a half a pound of cheese in here yesterday. What happened? I'm like,
half a pound, huh?
Half a pound?
Yeah. Or like avocado pastrami, a jar of pickles.
Oh my God! Must be a joy. The toilet in your house must be a real treat after a half pound of cheese.
Oh God!
Oh God!
You're saying that it will bind you up pretty good.
Oh my God! Play-Doh Fun Factory out his bunghole.
Or when it finally plinks out as hard as a rock. You're struggling, and a little fucking granite fist falls out. Youcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she hates grocery shopping because she knows I'm going to, like, eat everything in, like, 3 days and have absolutely no memory when it happens.
Yeah, that Ambien. Wow.
I don't know. Some people swear by it as far as sleep goes,
right?
You know?
Yeah, it's awesome, though, man. I mean, 2 years, it's really helped me a good deal. I know a lot of people talk shit about it, but it's really been pretty good for me. Hey, I got to get to work, guys. I'll punch out.
You just talked shit about it. He's like, I know a lot of people talk shit about it, but I woke up and ate a fucking half pound of cheese.